I'm here in this gorgeous field of bluebonnets to bring you some beautiful flower dresses. These are from awbridal. I had never heard of them before, and they offered to send me some of their floral collection, and I am in love. I mean, the detail on these, I cannot wait for you to see them. We were actually out here last weekend for family, and the fields were gorgeous, but I hadn't gotten the dresses in. They came in on Monday, and I thought, I gotta go back. So here we are. These dresses have so much detail. I've got 3 to show you. This one came in lots of different colors. I was just in love with the pink. I'm gonna have to show you the other options because I was really torn between one of the kind of multicolored flowers, but I'm happy that I went with this guy. I just needed to have a floral moment and spin in a field of bluebonnets. Welcome to our Texas wildflowers. So this one is a kind of spaghetti strap, a slight bit thicker than a spaghetti strap. And then it's got the dimensional flowers going up top. It's got almost a corseted waist, but just goes right below my bust. And then it flows out into an A-line. There are fewer flowers and just embroidery up top. But then once we get lower, there are all kinds of just really pretty dimensional flowers that are sewn to this. This dress has 3 different layers. It has this top layer, and then it's got a tulle and an underskirt. And the lowest layer of this is really kind of a champagne color. I don't know exactly what it's coming out on here, but I don't know. I think that this is just lovely. I'm gonna show you the back. All in all, this is the first one that I've tried on, and I'm exceptionally happy with it. So I kind of let Frolicking in the Flowers Mare introduce this one. It was just too idyllic a setting to start out in my kitchen. So these dresses were sent to me by a company called awbridal, and the first one is called the Allison. She is fun, she's flirty, she's whimsical, and she comes in 6 different colors. I was struggling with this one because I was kind of leaning toward the multicolor. Honestly, they're all pretty great. Look at these guys. I think they all have their strengths, but I am happy that I chose the pink. I think that it is different from the other 2 dresses that we're gonna look at. These dimensional flowers, I want you guys to see this kind of up close. So there's embroidery all over this mesh, and then every once in a while, there's just a beautiful embroidered flower kind of sticking off. And then look at the hemline. So the hemline, it's a cut hem, and then any flowers that are dimensional are hanging kind of off the edge to give a lot of texture to the bottom here. What this kind of reminds me of is the Taylor Swift Grammy dress from 2021. In fact, whenever I sent these to one of my friends, one of them immediately wrote me back and was like, it's just like this Taylor Swift dress. And I can totally see it. This dress is an Oscar de la Renta that paired with the current trend of flowers used in exciting kind of dimensional ways on runways and in stores. I think that this dress is perfect for spring. It's perfect for this time in our lives. So Allison here has a concentration of flowers way down on the hemline. It's where it's the most thick, and then also kind of up the bust. They're a little bit thicker. I like that they do it differently. There are a few more on this side. There's a lot of beauty and symmetry, but there's a lot of art in being asymmetrical. The top has those dimensional flowers, and then we go down to some embroidery, and then there's kind of a void right here at the center, and I think that that does a good job of kind of defining the waist. This is a much more A-line dress than either of the other 2 that we're going to be looking at. I think that maybe that's not quite as ideal from a spinning in the wilds perspective, but it does give a lovely silhouette. When awbridal first contacted me to show me that these were the dresses I was choosing from, there were a bunch that were in this kind of floral line. I really didn't know what I was gonna think of them, mostly because I didn't know how they were gonna pull it off. I've seen a lot of what I ordered versus what I've got of this style dress that goes horribly wrong. And let me tell you, these dresses totally won me over. I think Allison is gorgeous. All right, so we're gonna go to the next one real quick, and it is my daughter's favorite. So I put this one on, and my daughter had no words. She was like, I need this dress. And she's not a super floral gal, so I'm totally gonna order it for her so that we can have matching dresses. I think that this one feels just whimsical and floral, in touch with nature. It also just feels very fairy princess. I'm in my princess era where I'm living out in the woods and birds are singing and I'm feeding deer out of my hands. It just feels so lovely and whimsical and romantic. I feel feminine in this one. It has all of the dimensional pieces that the last one did, but all the way up. So the last one had just embroidery on top and then kind of sparse on the skirt. and then it had the dimensional pieces down at the bottom. This one is like all dimension all the time. And I think that I kind of love it for that. This is fuller up top, so it's kind of the opposite of the last. The top has all of these dimensional flowers as well as embroidery, and then as it goes down toward the bottom of the skirt, it's a little bit more sparse with just that embroidery. So this one has a blush undertone. So it's the same. It has a overskirt, and then it's got a layer of tulle, and then it's got this blush color as the skirt. That's the color under the whole body. I love these bell sleeves. They can be worn up or down. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Down versus up. I don't know. This feels a little more like Rapunzel princess to me, but I do love dresses that are off of my shoulder. This one has a fuller skirt than the last one, so I can pull it around and spin as opposed to the A-line. All in all, so far, I've done 2. This one is my favorite because it is just so much fun. Meet Catherine. She is beautiful. So this one is the one that makes me feel like I stepped right out of a fairy tale. It's kind of the opposite of the last one in that the concentration of these dimensional flowers is right here at the waist, and then toward the bottom you get more just, I don't know, smaller dimensional every once in a while, and then the applique. This is so beautiful. And of the pastels, I really love this. I think that it's like the pink base. And one thing I didn't show you on the last is just how incredibly well made and detailed this is. There's boning inside to give shape to the bust, shape all the way down to the waistline. And then there are built-in cups. It's just an incredibly well put together dress. Because this was custom sizing, it says free size inside for the size. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with free size. And then it has a little awbridal tag. All of the fabric feels incredibly luxurious. This is superbly made, just generally better than expected. The amount of boning and structure that there is to this is honestly impressive. My one beef with Catherine is that it came in the day after Easter. Had it been different, I 100% would have worn this dress on Easter Sunday because it just feels like spring. This one was only available in this color. I think that it's lovely. It pulls in a lot of peaches. The base is a true blush. It's not like that champagne-y color of the other 2. I think that this is the most unique of the 3 that I got, but they have a large variety. I just really loved the pastel or more natural looks of these dresses. All right, back to the flowers for the last time, maybe. This is the last one. And this one is definitely the most modest selection. So this one doesn't have any of the dimensional flowers, but it's got a lot of embroidery. Whenever they sent me the selections, this was actually my first choice, but I really didn't know how much I'd love the dimensional flowers. I think this one's lovely, but I probably prefer the last one, and then this one, and then the one with the straps. I think that the skirt on this one's great. It's got a really full swinging skirt. This also has multiple layers of tulle. The lowest layer of this, which gives the color, is a champagne. I think that it's really lovely. It is cut right under my bust, and then it's got a small panel, and then it comes down. Honestly, I think the reason that I prefer the last 2, this one and then the one preceding, is that it's not A-line, and therefore it's got a lot of fluff. It makes it just feel feminine and, I don't know, fairy tale-esque. I think I've said fairy tale and princess a lot in here, and that's because I'm feeling like a princess from a fairy tale, frolicking in the flowers. So I got all of these cut to size. I sent in my measurements, and so the dress is custom fit to me, including length. Now I'm 5'10", so I always need additional length, and I love that there are companies that are starting to offer that just standard. awbridal actually doesn't charge for that service, which I think is pretty phenomenal. They have quite a few different floral spring dresses like this. These are just 3 of the offerings. I'd love to know your thoughts and which one you thought was the best. I think they're all lovely, and I couldn't go wrong with any of them. All right, Breezy was actually my first choice. When they sent the list, this is the one that I knew that I would like, and she doesn't have a girl's name. Her name is just Breezy. I think that's okay. I like it, Breezy. What I liked most about this was the embroidery, and I was very interested in it because I had a small embroidery business whenever my daughter was little. I found out very quickly that there wasn't a lot of money in custom embroidery. If I wanted to do it as a business, I had to basically find clients that wanted quantity, and so I worked for a couple universities, that kind of thing, but it wasn't as exciting creatively. But I'm always interested in looking at embroidery and the quality of said embroidery, and this is wonderfully done. It's very fine. The florals are just so lovely. They're very well designed. They're in a really soft rayon thread, and I love how they come up from the waist and then they spread out lower until we almost get to nothing on the edge. I think that that makes it incredibly romantic. One thing of note is that you can get custom sizing at no charge. Most places do charge for that, and I think that if you go on and you find a dress that, wow, this is totally me, it's 100% worth it to get the custom sizing and get it made to your measurements. Now, if you do that, you cannot return a custom sized dress. With that being said, every dress there is made to order. And not only do you get custom sizing, but there are also things that you can change. You can change the length of the dress. You can also decide to add pockets, which I would totally recommend with any dress. What I did definitely notice and absolutely appreciated with all three of these is that there were no surprises. What I saw on the website is what I received. Now, with plus size, sometimes that's difficult because you don't know exactly how it's going to translate. And that's one thing that I'm always looking for. Like, how does this company translate from the standard size to the plus size? And I think that they did a fabulous job. So I think what my plan is going to be is to keep one of these dresses and donate the other two to Giving Gown. Giving Gown is a philanthropy that we have out here in Houston. And what they do is give girls dresses free of charge for their prom who may not be able to afford one otherwise. And I think that these would be some really neat standout pieces for prom. So I guess that what I have to do is try and decide whether I want Flirty Allison and her beautiful vibrant colors, Ethereal Catherine that just has like the major fairy tale cottagecore style vibes, or just like beautiful breezy. And the interesting thing is that at the beginning I would have said I'm probably leaning toward breezy, and right now I don't know, I think they're all gorgeous. So if you have an opinion, I would love to hear it. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.